Imagine that you've created a genius product. It's something that's needed among a multitude of people and the quality is impeccable. Your success is guaranteed, right? Unfortunately, if this were the case, we'd have a lot more successful entrepreneurs. Because having a great product doesn't ensure your success if you don't know how to promote it. Just as having great promotion won't always get people to buy a less than great product. This is where marketers come into play. Marketers assess the market in order to find things to help them carry out their daily tasks of promoting, pricing, creating, and distributing services and goods. The end goal for marketers is to do these things in a way that creates satisfying relationships with their customers. Again, as I said, to be successful, they have to understand the market. One tool that marketers can use to do this is called the SWOT analysis. As a marketing minor and intern, I have taken courses in marketing and have experienced firsthand how professionals use the SWOT analysis in their daily tasks. In this speech, first I will explain what SWOT analysis is, second I will explain each component into detail, and third I will explain its relevance to the marketing world. Bonnie Taylor, Vice President of CCS Innovations, told Business Insider magazine, "It is impossible to accurately map out a small business's future without first evaluating it from all angles." This is exactly what a SWOT analysis does. SWOT is an acronym standing for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Marketers will look at each of these components in order to guide them in their decision making. And I'm going to go ahead and start with the strengths portion. Strengths are a company's competitive advantages, or in other words, what a company does really, really well. It also allows a company to reach their target market easier than other companies who don't have the same strengths. According to an article written on Walmart from the University of San Francisco, Walmart has held a place among the top 20 supply chains for nearly half a decade. This is a strength because it allows them to grow their business and get product out more efficiently. Another example would be if a gluten-free restaurant hired a specialized cook in order to specialize their menu and bring about more gluten-free recipes. Again, these are all strengths because it helps grow the business. Moving on to weaknesses. Weaknesses are any limitations a company faces in developing or implementing strategies. The important thing to realize is that these can either be inevitable or self-caused. According to an article published on Pestle Analysis written by Jim Makos, weakness can include things like high cost of rental for an office or an outdated market research. This is a good example of weaknesses that are inevitable and self-caused, because as the high cost of rent is inevitable, that's something that the company can't control. However, having little market research is something that they can change and actually turn into a strength. So this would be something that they could benefit from learning as a weakness. I'm going to go ahead and move on to opportunities. And opportunities refer to favorable conditions in the environment that could produce rewards for a company. The important thing to realize here is that they have to be acted upon properly. This is because a company may not realize that an opportunity even exists, or if they do realize that one exists, they may not know how they should respond to this in order to turn it into a strength. For example, gluten allergies rising in the US. A company could look at this opportunity and develop gluten-free products to put in grocery stores, or they could open up a gluten-free restaurant and become a success, or they might not even realize that this opportunity exists. Or again, they might realize that it does and not know how to act upon it. And lastly, I'm going to move on to threats. And these are conditions or barriers that may prevent companies from reaching their objectives. For example, in Springfield, everyone knows that Dunkin' Donuts opened right next to Krispy Kreme. And this didn't just happen on accident. This is a threat to Krispy Kreme because Dunkin' Donuts has similar products and prices. And so it's preventing them from reaching their objectives if it's taking away business from that company. Last, we're going to talk about how a marketer uses these items. And if a marketer can realize the weaknesses that exist, they can then determine what they need to do to move this to become a strength. And same goes for threats. If a marketer recognizes threats, then they can turn them into opportunities. So it's really important that they understand each of these components because it can help them reach their marketing objectives in a very successful way. Thank you.